Hello, welcome to Tea Leaves Programming. Today we're gaming like it's 1979. We are going to continue our playthrough of Wizardry, the Five Ordeals. The scenario is The Price of Deception, which is their tutorial scenario. And it's quite long. And we ended this right in the maze, looking at this door that takes us out of the maze. But we're not going to take it. We're going to go elsewhere. We have a few spells active, including light and protection. And we have been mapping our progress with Grid Cartographer. One of the interesting things, it's interesting to me, about the run we're doing here, is that this so far has not been a combat-oriented stream. Rather, what we're doing is mapping. And really, I'm focusing on the mapping here as being the main point of what we're doing. So I'm going to try and adjust this map so that it's a little more readable. I was looking at the previous screen, and I'm not worried about your being able to see the Grid Cartographer UI, but I would like you to have a good look at the map as we do it. So I believe we are actually right now there, and this is a way out. So why don't I mark that here? And it's probably a teleporter that leads, I don't think it's a way out to the castle. I think it's a way out of the maze. All right, so let's leave here. Way out, right? Yes. And we are going to step over this way and go through this door. Okay. And so it's there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And there was a wall there, and we are in front of a door. Okay, so not much going on here, but if you'll recall correctly, they gave us a warning before we entered this teleport area that we were near map edge warps. So I think that's what's going to happen here, is they're signaling that our mapping is going to get complicated, and we feel like we're near the edge of the map, and probably we're going to be going out to the east side and coming in on the west side here. Let's just peek behind us, make sure that looks the same. It does. We'll go through the door. We have an encounter. Oh, golems, right. These guys are very tough, aren't they? And if I recall correctly, they were immune to all of the magic that I was casting. So let's have our frontline fighters fight them head on. And let's have our priests cast some armor spells. Try and protect our frontline fighters. That should give us an extra 3 armor class. And let's have our mage reduce his armor class, hopefully. I think we decided that terror did not work on them. Let's try darkness. The darkness is usually pretty reliable to reduce enemy armor classes. Okay. Ooh, barely does any damage at all. Okay, well, our armor class is now a little bit better, which is great. So let's just go straight forward. We do have this punish spell, which does holy damage, 1 to 8. Let's try just this punish damage and see if that manages to damage them at all. We can cast multiple of these darkness spells. And I'm going to cast haste on, I think, Kurosawa here. Punish does not work on the golem. Oh, wow, nice hit. That looks like must have been a critical hit. Priest Blaster. Is it really a Priest Blaster? It is. or it seems to be. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know what a priest blaster does other than hurts priests, but it didn't hit us, so that's good. Oh, we also got a polearm. I think that's the first polearm I've picked up in the dungeon, so I look forward to hearing what that is. Okay, so it looks like we've got a door over here, and we think we see walls here. All right, let me zoom back in here. So that's a little more interesting to look at. Okay, we're going to walk in all four spaces. Certainly seems the same. Now we're going to go through here. Ah, and so here we see that we seem like we're going off the edge here. But we know that really what we're doing is we're coming in this edge. I think what the game was trying to signal to me is that our instinct is that we're gonna go off of this edge here and come in here, right? But I think the game is trying to tell us, I think what the thief was telling us is that we're going to go off this edge here and we may come in at a different spot. I think that's what they mean by edge warp. So we're going to spend a wizard eye as soon as we take this next step, and let's see where that takes us. They're going to signal it for us because this is the tutorial dungeon. Try checking the map now. Okay. Running low on wizard eyes. Okay, so no, this was just... There's nothing really exotic about this. We're literally just coming in this side of the map. The background music you hear, very often during my Let's Plays, I'm playing music by someone named Ben Cox or someone named Tuoni. This is actually the game music that I have in the background. Hopefully the mix is correct. I know it can be frustrating to when the music interferes with the voice. I think I've got the mix right. Hopefully I do. I'm going to try and... I want some sort of effect here to call out that I'm transiting a map edge, just so that I notice it when I look at the map. Now there are these arrows, but I've already used those arrows, if I recall correctly, to indicate movement. So why don't I just use... How about this red field? I'm never going to use this red field for anything. And that just will really highlight for me that I'm moving. Right? Uh-oh, I seem to be in some sort of mode. That's not good. Okay, and then I'm going to move my avatar all the way to the other side of the map. All right, and we're going to turn collision back on, and leave footprints is already on. Oops, I just put a bunch of footprints that I shouldn't have put. Fortunately, I just learned how to get rid of those. And I think those are all legit. Okay, so here we are. We do have a wall there. Gotta listen to this again. 1, 2. I do wonder, I would love to hear in the comments, are those of you watching as, do you like mapping the way I do, or is this just frustrating for you to watch someone playing a game about dungeon combat and barely doing any combat, but just very carefully taking steps and mapping when it's not necessary? Remember what I told you about the pit and levitate? You can fly over that hole ahead. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, so there's a hole ahead. Presumably might be in that intersection. Well, let's go the long way around. I don't have levitate right now, so that's a bit of a problem. At least I don't think I have levitate. Let me double check. Read spell, read mage spell. No, I do not. So how close? 14,000. That's not a lot. The way forward here might in fact be that I need to grind a little bit. Grind 14,000, 15,000 experience points. Okay, we've got an encounter. 3 men in black. Oof. If I'm going to be getting 150 XP per, that's not very many XP. That's a particularly low value combat. Let's go into this room. All right, so we have another door here. We have a wall here. Seems odd that they would give us a way in and out of that room. There's going to be a pit right here, isn't there? There's not. Interesting. Okay, so we can take that pit marker off. I wonder if I can, let's see, index 85, let's remember that. I'm going to use purple as my color that means I'm not sure if this is really here. I like that idea. Let's see, so that's north. There's a school of thought that says that one shouldn't put things on the map until you've actually walked there. But I don't subscribe to that school of thought. That's what the footprints are for. Right? Okay. For fierce warriors. Well, I'm worried about fierce warriors, so I'm going to spend a spell on them. That took care of them, I think. Great. Mage Blaster this time. There we go. I think these guys will do a breath weapon. Yep, there it is. Fortunately, it's not a lot. Ooh, well now I have a challenge, or rather now I have a decision to make, because my samurai have leveled up, and leveling up is good. Of course, I'm not really having a lot of trouble with the combat in the game right now. So I could keep pressing on. What level are they? They're level 7, so they won't get an extra attack from leveling up. It's not the end of the world. Okay, looks like this is a hallway. It's probably to get around another pit, if I had to guess. Hello. Something happened there. I think I have to use a wizard eye on this. So it looked like that was a turntable. And I believe it turned me Can I set the direction of rotation? Wow. Feels like I should be able to set the direction of rotation, but I don't see how. And let's set a tip here, just on the native map. I don't know what I should use as a turn table. I think this circle. I like that. Okay, so I'm looking south now. So we're going to face north. And why don't I actually... I did walk there. I walked all inside that room. I walked all inside that room. Actually, I don't think I stepped there. So let's clear that. And now I'm here. Very carefully making our way through this maze. Interesting. And so this, the feel I've got here, and I don't know this for sure, I think there are pits in these hallways. That's what I think is going on. Wait, did I just... I got myself turned around. Okay. Right, that's where we are. I think there are pits in these hallways, and these little rooms are meant to provide you a way through them or around them. That's my guess. We felt something. So probably a secret door, probably here. There we go. Let's go in. Oh, it's exciting. I love secret doors. I really do. I love finding secrets in a dungeon. That's why I'm doing this map. So that's, looks like several doors here. And a wall going up this way. I believe there was a wall here. I guess I can safely go back through the secret door. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Right, this, if I were the dungeon designer, there would be a chute in this hallway bringing me down to a lower level. That might be too cruel for a tutorial game. So this central area is either going to be some sort of trap. Let's go 1, 2. Or it's, I mean, would you have a big room with all these doors? It really seems weird, doesn't it? Why would you have all of these doors? So either these are cells. I mean, the only way to find is to go in, but I kind of want to... The question is, do I go into this central area, which feels very ominous to me? Or do I go through this door first? I think I'm going to go through this door first. And this feels like just your standard room. Ooh, I'm taking some damage. Not bad. Ooh, that hurt. Yeah, we're now running a little low on heals. That's not great. One, 2, 3. door there. And we have, no, 1, 2, 3. I put the door in the wrong place. There we go. And then that was a locked door. So this maybe brings us down to open up a shortcut. So I want to do that. This feels ominous. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And here, we've now opened up this shortcut. So how does this get us back? Oops. If we wanted to get back, we could go through here, and then that brings us right back home. So now that we've opened up this shortcut, I mean, I hate to do this without leveling up my mage, but I'm so low on heals at this point. I think I've got to return to dungeon, and I've got this shortcut which will let us get right back into the action here. So let's do that. Let me mark the path that I've walked, since we know there are pits here. And let's head back. Right, and then there is the entrance. Weird humanoids. We'll use all our spells since it doesn't matter too much. Alright, back on the second floor. If I recall correctly, it is not terribly hard to get back. It's just up here to the left, and then there, and then... Yeah, I appreciate, again, I really appreciate this dungeon design. This is almost, just in terms of how the dungeon is laid out, this is almost Dark Souls dungeon design. We're going on a long adventure where your ability to return is uncertain, and then when you've progressed enough, we're opening shortcuts back. I love that. I really do. I'm enjoying the Five Ordeals so much. I'm so salty that people have misunderstood this game and are sleeping on it. I'm loving it. All right, we've got the map out of the way. Let's have everyone sleep. Now, this is interesting because he's almost, I think, at the point where I could change him into a lord. Probably don't want to. I think samurai is a good class for this guy. Lost vitality? Oh, that's the worst. Okay, get our priest sleeping. About 10,000. Yeah, these guys are all going to level up pretty soon. Okay, so let's do a few things here. I'm going to go ahead and do the identification dance, which means we have to leave Curso in the dungeon because otherwise I can't add a bishop to the party. But we need to go into the dungeon a couple times anyway to heal. You might ask, why am I not sleeping in the Adventurer's Inn to heal, which is a thing you can do. This is another trap. This is a mechanic that even this game doesn't really explain it very well. It's one of the worst traps in Wizardry, which is the obvious way to heal your characters is to pay money to rest at the inn. Resting at the inn has two major effects. One is your characters get older, which is generally speaking bad. You could actually have characters just outright die from old age in this game. The other aspect of this is that, as I believe I alluded to earlier, money is ruinously scarce on the ground in this game. And especially early in the game, spending your money on the inn will just just eat up all of your money because it's inevitable that you take damage in combat, even playing optimally. So the correct way to do all of this, I would say the way that most experienced Wizardry players do it, is you rest your priests at the end in the stables for free, so they get their spells back. You walk into the dungeon, you spend all of their heal spells, you walk out of the dungeon, you rest your priest in the stables again, over and over until your party is healed. If I'm honest, it's kind of annoying. I think it's not a great mechanic. It feels in the nature of, like, it's not quite an exploit, but it's not good gameplay either. One of the reasons I like the scenario half-hearted RPG is that they just declare, when you leave the dungeon, your spellcasters get their spell points back. And that is, I think, a fairer mechanic to new players. And also, I think it's just removing busy work, right? The act of having these guys sleep in the stable is not interesting gameplay. But it is traditional gameplay, and Wizardry players are nothing if not traditional. Okay, we're going to remove Kurosawa from the party, and we are going to once again do some identifying of the stuff we found. Well, he didn't find anything terribly interesting, so I'm just going to ignore this and get us back down to the place where we were first exploring. I'm wondering if it's worth it to grind my mage a little bit so that we can cast levitation. Let's actually see how long that takes. If this is long and boring, I'm just going to go into these rooms on the first floor. Let me add my map back, because we're very close to, we were 3/4 done with the third floor, and I would like to be able to map these pits. So we have a number of rooms here on the first floor. You can ignore the avatar, I'm not there. I'm actually right here near this room. So let's see how quickly we can get through this. We need about 11,000 XP. I'm tempted to not even open these chests. At 27 XP, it's going to take too long. Unless we're going to get some good monsters, I'm going to cut this and we'll just go back down. Yeah, this is hopeless. Alright, I'm just going to go back down. Not only is it better streaming, it's also just more interesting, period. More interesting for me as a player. Oops, I just went the wrong way. Alright, now we are back on the third floor. And we get to we're right here. And we get to take our shortcut. We get to go through this formerly locked door. And we get to go through this formerly locked door. Okay. Let's go backwards here and see what's in this room. Looks like a surprise was in this room. Oh, I'm glad that those mages weren't able to cast spells on that round. But now they can. But we have enough healing to tolerate that. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. A little bit of a... Right. Oops. Oh, I did. Okay. I thought I had not shown you the map, but I did not zoom in on the map, so let's do that. There. An encounter in a little room. This designer likes these little double-chambered rooms. I think the point of it is that it increases the density with which he can feed you XP. You can have multiple battles and multiple chests. Wizardry is a lot about leveling up from your levels, sure, but also leveling up from your equipment. That ends up being very important. You know, it occurs to me that I don't know what this status, 9 of 10, 8 of 10, 5 of 10, I have no idea what that means. You know what? I think I do know what this is. This is how many items they're holding. They have 10 slots. So this is telling me Kurosawa is using 9 of his 10 slots. I'm reasonably sure that's what it means. Yes. So when everyone is at 10 of 10, you know you should leave because you can't pick up any treasure anymore. Okay, there's another door up here, I believe. It's another room. Chambers, I will bet you. Well, we don't know. Oh, these breath weapons, they're the worst. Just being chipped down little by little. I don't have Mega Fire. All right, so the question is, this still feels like a boss area up here, so I want to do it last. I could be wrong, but we'll see. So we're going to go down here to where the secret door was. That going on here. This is probably another little chamber, yep. Weird humanoids. Anything that might drain me. Having levels drained, it's the worst. Anything that might drain me, I will spend spells on. All right, so this is interesting. Right. We actually don't need to do any mapping right here. I know there's no real reason to fill in these rooms this way. Oh, it's our buddy, our frenemy, the thief. The final trial of the teachings of Zilk. If you conquer the trial, you will have mastered the teachings of Zilk. All right, so we're not going to go in here. We're going to actually, can I make it? Put that there. I know I said I was going to use purple. I contain multitudes. So we're going to come back here later. We're going to go back to the area that we did not map, which is over here. This should be an encounter in this room. Oh, I hate getting surprised. Oh! I have someone who's paralyzed and I didn't even realize it. It's one of the complaints I've made about other Wizardry games, notably the PlayStation 2 Tales from the Forsaken Land, is that it has these animations that are very slow that make combat go slowly. And that's true. One benefit to combat going slowly is that you don't tend to miss things. When I'm playing this, if you're going fight, 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 parry, 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 zoom through it, I have missed situations where players were poisoned and they've died because they were poisoned and I just didn't notice. So that's something the game could signal a little better, I think, or I could be more attentive would be the other solution, but who wants that? Okay, we're gonna go, and I think this feels just like a big 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, well, let's see what's in here. And I guess there's also this chamber. All right, we're starting over here at the upper right. Oh, they're going to be just little chambers. Okay. Fine. I guess this is the grinding area for this level. Oh, he ran away. Come on. One thing to be aware of when you play Wizardry is that unlike many other RPGs, your decisions in combat, your assignments in combat are assigned. So if there are 2 groups of enemies and you tell all 6 of your players to attack one group, and one of those groups that group is destroyed, your other team members will not switch targets to the remaining enemy by themselves. They will just stand there and not do anything. And you have to wait for the next round. But sometimes that's, that ends up being an interesting resource trade-off that you kind of have to make. If some group, very often you'll be playing and you'll be faced with one group is really trivial and another group is deadly. Or, one group is not that bad, and the other is deadly, and you want to focus fire on the deadly group. And that's just a decision you have to make sometimes. Well, we're getting lots of XP, that's nice. Here's a golem again. I think I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did before. Darkness worked well, I think, for this golem. Good. Well, my thief is leveled up. That does not what I wanted. I will say right now I'm running out of time for this episode. I really don't like these to go for hours and hours. I know that there's people out there who what they really want is for people to stream, 8 hours and they leave it on for noise in the background. It's just not my way. I've got an attention span of about an hour, and so I project that onto you, dear viewer. So where I think I'm going to cut this is I'm going to finish mapping as much of this as I can, which is over here. I'm going to open up that room, which I assume is just going to be a chamber, almost certainly. And then I'm going to walk up to the boss zone, the thing that I have marked as the boss zone, and heal up, and then save the game, and cut the video there. And then when we start next time, hopefully we will actually completely finish this 3rd level. Are we going to play through the Price of Deception all the way? I don't know. I feel, especially at the pace I'm going, doing this kind of rigorous mapping, I feel like that would be too much. I would have 36 videos on the Price of Deception or more. If you love it, leave a note in the comments. And, certainly if this is content people like, I am going to play it, right? The only question is not whether I play it, but whether I stream the whole thing. So if you want to see it, I'm willing to do it. Warps don't just use you to a different location. It can be used to make you walk the same route and confuse the current location. Okay, so what's going to happen here? Probably. So we are here. We're right here. That looks normal. I see. Okay, so what happened here? Get our markers. This is a teleport out. And this is a teleport in. We now have multiple teleports on this. I guess we had them before. So let's start marking them with different colors. Ah, that's not really visible, is it? There we go. All right. So at this point, I think I have mapped almost everything beyond the area, before the area where we got that dire warning. I've been doing this for about an hour today, and I think that's enough. So let me get over. We're right here right now. Let me get over to that marker, which is right here. And I'm going to heal up, and then I'm going to call it. Using all of your heals like this is kind of risky, frankly. But really, what's the worst that can happen? It's a very fair game, right? Well, we will see next time. Thank you for joining me on this adventure through the Five Ordeals, the scenario, The Price of Deception. You've been watching Tea Leaves Programming. This is Gaming Like It's 1979. Thanks for watching.